So, Smile Game Builder. Those of you who are not aware, Smile Game Builder looks to be a kind of competitor to the RPG Maker line. More in the line of it makes RPGs and it's got 3D. So it doesn't hit the same exact target, but it's really kind of overlapping. So I downloaded the trial, which you can do too easily by just hitting this button here on the Smile Game Builder page to download the demo. Alternately, I believe you can download the demo from their web page as well. This is the first time I've launched it, so I have no idea how this works other than just that it kind of works similarly to MV according to one of the testers that had early access to this that I talked to very briefly on one of the MV forums that I'm a part of. Now, since this it doesn't even have a splash screen when it starts, at least the demo doesn't. I don't know anything about the full program. So you're going to come for this ride and see exactly what I see the first time running through. So let's create a new project. Let's see. Make a new project to start creating a game. Project is a folder containing a collection of files needed for a game. It is also possible to start by selecting a sample game. Let's go fresh. Let's go fresh. The sample thing I'll take a look at after this, but let's just see fresh. We've got it loading up. Okay, well, oh, there we go. Now we've got the splash. See, this is what I was expecting to see when I first launched it. All right, let's full screen this a bit. Okay, it's a full view. There's grid view, different tiles that we can work with. Lava, ivy, swamp, rocks with ivy on it, just rocks, snow-covered rocks, flower garden, grass, man-made stuff, castle, gothic pillars, house. They're calling labyrinth. Looks like a nice dungeon floor. Wall, another wall, more labyrinth stuff, red carpet, probably good for castle, and boom, because yeah, we've got our castle stairs, labyrinth stairs, stone, wooden, some slope, red carpet stairs. Alright, now can we change what angle we're viewing this at? There we go. It's not very intuitive, but it'll do. So we got a little house here. Yeah, that's not terribly intuitive. Objects. Okay, so it uses an object kind of system. That's... Well, let's see here. Let's go with water. See what can we do with water. Okay. So that's not terrible. And if we take an object, say this little bridge, what can we do with that? Okay, nope, that ain't gonna work. Kind of works. Can we push it down? No, we can't. Interesting. So we would have to do something along those lines. Oh wow, this is really not very intuitive. I would love it if I could just like... Oh no, that is not what I wanted. This is very hard to look at. Let's go from that angle once there. That is probably going to be the best angle to do your maps from, as far as like RPG Maker is concerned. Like if you want to at least give it a look like RPG Maker. But without being able to like middle mouse button click to change your angle, or even shift or alt click to change angles, it's really kind of an issue. Can I unselect tools here? No, I really can't, and that's kind of bothersome. Alright, can I select anything? Okay, that's cool. There's a selection. So there's our select. Looks like we can. Okay, so that's cool. Say if we grab this area, we raise it 3 times. And we grab this area here, raise it twice. This area here, let's raise it once. Let's drop that down. Drop that down. Now, I'm going to take the stairs. Bam, and bam. That gives us a way up. And oh, quickly drop that as well, so that we can place stairs. Okay, looks like we got... I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. It looks like it's supposed to be snow. This is supposed to be the interior of that house, I'm guessing. Yeah. That's my only guess on that. Can delete that. Maybe. Delete. This function is not available in the trial version. Okay. Okay, how about a new map? Okay, so you're stuck with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different maps that you can work with in the trial version. That's not terrible. I mean, it is really just there to help you understand the game. Now, let's see here. Events. Okay, these are. I'm not entirely sure I like how this is laid out. It's like they're really not. Okay, so they might not really be competing with MV as much as I thought this was going to be, like as far as actual competition is concerned. It really looks like they're trying to make this as it's really kind of hard to a way to say it. It's very limited, so to speak. Feels very limited in just looking at it. I really should kill the steam overlay and stuff like this. Okay, no touchscreen controls. Oh. I do hope that that isn't too loud. I'm gonna lower that just a little bit because it's loud in my earphones. But looks like WASD movement or actual arrow key movement. The E key changes your camera angle as well as the Q key. R key will make you higher. F key lowers it. This is as low as it goes. It's as high as it goes. Grid-based movement. Shift is your run. It's awfully mushy feeling. X is going to be menu. Here we go. Zoom in with C, zoom out with V. There's the 3D model it's using in this player character. And of course, Edgeboard game. It's trying to not be completely square by making objects like the ground terrain, well, be not square. It's the easiest way I could say it. But looking at the menu, yeah, there is no touch screen. There is no touch compatibility here. Z is your OK button, X is your other button. I'm not entirely sure how. Just some basic config stuff. Let's kill that for now. Game file. No, that's what I wanted. Save game data. Is that going to be it? Here we go. Here's our database functions. Good. And we can actually. That's not as intuitive as I would have liked, but that works. Starting party. I was really kind of expecting a lot more from this. I know I probably shouldn't have, considering it's kind of just coming out of nowhere. But, well, let's see what else we get. We get title screen information. Let's see. Okay, so you can actually have a graphic instead of just raw text. And, well, yeah, it's not going to give you much there, but I like that. I like that option. That is honestly a nice option. Anybody out there that makes MV scripts or anything want to do something similar to that as just a plugin, point it to a graphic and have it replace the title text? Be a great idea. Just people would probably use that. Start menu itself, new game, continue, configuration, and you can just change the text of those three however you want. Start menu layout. Interesting. Curious of how that actually changes things. Flash, throb, and zoom for selections. Let's see. See, that's that's usable. That's okay. This only really comes with the one background graphic. I assume the full software probably comes with a lot more. Terminal. So here's the actual database stuff. This is what I wanted to see what it had personally. So we've got the currency in state. Money, so they've kind of got that all as internal stuff. Okay. Poison, sleep, confusion, charm, KO. Okay, so that's kind of very limiting, really. Again, limiting, but at least that's a decent enough selection to work with. Inventory, skills, equipment status, save, exit, XP. It's not terribly set up there. It's fine. It's fine. Not sure what charge is for. Well, battle mechanic. Built-in states. I'm not particularly fond of the built-in states. Here we've got our character list. Feels very, how do I say it? Super limiting. Item list. What can we do to make this work? HP covering. Okay. It makes you not really want to use items that much. So there's not very much you can do with items at that point when their only actual use would be stuff like that. Same effect as a skill, fire. The flame spellbook would let you use that. It would use the fire skill once and be done. I think I would do that. I would make that a scroll icon, call it a scroll, but that's semantics. That doesn't really mean anything. The fact that you can't make an item that gives you a skill, like there's no item that gives you a skill, that bothers me. Like that would be a thing. And of course, here we go. We got a bronze key. It does absolutely nothing. Card key does nothing. Letter does nothing. Yeah. Okay. So there's really not much going on there. Can you add? Okay, so it does let you add items in the demo. That's not exactly a big deal. Once you couldn't do anything with the maps, I figured that was going to be very limited. I'm not really going to make anything with this, and it's only the demo, and I don't really want to spend more than 20-30 minutes even looking through it for everybody. This is really just kind of something I wanted to show. It's an alternative to the RPG Maker series if people are interested in alternatives. But to myself, I think it's got an unnecessarily high learning curve versus the actual capability of the engine. Like it can't do an awful lot because it's relying on pre-built components to take the place of things that you would kind of build your own little event structure around. So that I'm not so big. Skills, of course, are all just looks like they're all just. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. It is just past midnight now, and I'm doing this. Skills, yeah, it doesn't look like it's got an awful lot of different things that you can do here. It'll tell you the effects that you can give it based on the target you give it, right? So like thunder, no target, effect on enemies, single enemy targeting. Okay, yeah. Damage per set of HP, 1% of HP plus 25. It's an odd way to do it. I never thought of doing percentile damage on top of a flat value. Like not without like specifically doing like a gravity spell. But well, at least it does let you do that. But other than that, it's just all very, very limited. Set the money and experience. Looks like you can only have it drop 2 items, which is very, again, a limitation. MV has a kind of limitation like this in its base form as well. I think it lets you drop a maximum of 3 different items, but this but that's changeable via plugins. Like you can fix that with a plugin. And here, I don't think there's a plugin structure at all. So it's like that's that and that's everything. Actions in battle. I don't know why you give this an idle frame. Like give it a defend frame instead of an idle. Like that would be an obvious thing. Like never make a monster idle. So yeah. So what have we got for animations? I'm curious. Little 3D heroes. Hello, what do we got here? You can have 2D characters, really? Like, yeah, that in effect is a little 2D character. I wonder how you'd use that. Handful of different enemy arts, which are incredibly well done, all things considered. Map models. Floor switch. It's got a lot of nice assets. And I think it'd be really great if what's the word I'm if I think it'd probably be really great if it wasn't if outside of the awesome fact that it is a kind of little 3D, not necessarily like robust 3D, but 3D with actual layers of third dimension, actual ability to bring things up, do stuff like that. Beyond seeing the small demo-y thing that one of the forum members did with this, showing off some of what it's capable of. Now, beyond the fact that I still have that same feeling I did when I watched his demo, that it's got plenty of promise. If this is the released state, however, like I'm not too enthusiastic about it. Like I myself definitely probably will not spend the money on this, just simply because, like, if I want to set something down, see this money in treasure chest, convert to advanced event. Okay, and here's the event editor. I feel like something like this should have been much more intuitive when it really feels like is there like an options menu here to show a more advanced form of the editor altogether? But it's good to see that there is a kind of flow to it. I'm not sure I like this particular way it's flowed. But it's okay. Local switches. It does use local switches. So there is a more advanced eventing system here than originally thought. But if I add a panel here, switch display messages or inner images, event switches, and variables. Excuse me. Movement, stats and items, special effects. Yeah. Okay. Great, store. What can we do with store? Select. Sure. Okay. There. You can open it, you get some money, and then it becomes a store. Let's run with that. Let's test it real quick. Just to see if it functions. I want to see the menu for the store. Does it have any significance on its own? Okay. There's our store menu. And yeah, this border of white, however, really kind of bothers me. Wonder, can I change that? Can we change the background? Map settings. What do we got here? Okay, see, that's a little bit more. That's kind of a thing. Okay, we have a lighting engine. I'm gonna bring the volume up just a little bit for everybody, because there is a little bit of music selection here. Which I think the music isn't actually terrible. It's actually pretty decent. There we go. Let's leave it black. That feels a little bit more like the border of a game when you do it that way. But in the same aspect, I kind of feel like you should never have to see that border. Like that should never be something inside the camera view. But the nature of the engine makes that an impossibility. Let's see here. We've got a block destructible with item. Okay. And a box that can be pushed. Seems cool. Sure, let's throw a save point on there because we can, just so we can see it. Placed events. Okay, there. As a localization tool. It's kind of cool. Help menu, help button, which just launches you into a web page. That's cool, but that doesn't help if, say, you're offline and you decide you need to look up how to do something. Because I do a lot of my work offline, so that's kind of yeah. No Man's Sky, kind of going through a little bit of a thing. Keeping up on some game news with certain things that I think are hilarious. No Man's Sky kind of is one of those. Advanced events. There we go. So here's just a raw event. Choose how it's triggered. So the main hero talks to it. And then of course battle. Let's change the graphic. And we'll give it. Now we've actually got 3D models for bad guys in here. Sure, it's a big bad. Let's give it that. Add an event panel. Sure, that'll work. And let's test that so we can see the battle system. And the battle system is supposed to be some kind of little front view thing where the characters are on the four corners of the screen, which seemed really odd to me. Well, here we go. Here's our save game. Yay, save screen. I would have figured they would have let you like sit inside that, but I guess not. So that, let's see, this is destroyable. Wonder what the necessary item is. And this is of course pushable. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, there's a bug. It just kind of floats off into the ether if you try to push it off the edge, rather than refusing to be pushed, which is how it should have been. And I mind you, this is with the stock event in the game. And I cannot do anything until the event handling finishes up, which looks like it'll never finish. So there's a little bit of a problem there. Let's reload the test play. And here we go. Here's a battle. No battle background, it just superimposes everything onto the screen. So let's have everybody attack. Nothing special. And again, I'm just gonna do this. Yay! Just because it looks awkward as hell. Not entirely sure how you're supposed to stop that. But, is what it is. Ooh, excuse me. I really am tired. There's really not much to say, other than what I've already. Yeah, there's not much else to really show. Not for just this kind of quick-ish. No, okay, so I'm terribly slow at doing this. But it's if this was like, a demo build, it is a demo build. It's the trial version. But if this was like a proof of concept, I would think this is absolutely fantastic. But this is the trial of the released product. I feel it's a little too limiting. Controls as far as actually handling the map editing. I feel that could have been really better done. Like being able to do things at an angle. Like clicking this once changes the angle that you're looking at, but you can't hold it and drag to adjust the angle yourself. So I'm not too fond of that. The zoom slider. For whatever reason, grid lines don't want to show up unless I'm like looking at it straight on. But I guess that's okay. I can look at it straight on and give the grid lines. I don't know. For the most part, I don't think you'll need the grid lines. Your basic save thing, I'll just give you a thing to save to. I'm not sure what the save type is. Or the folder structure for when you actually do save things. I'm really not planning on saving this or, using this outside of this video. Because, navigating back to the Smile Game Builder page, this is an $80 software. Now I know that for a game engine and all that, that's great. It has its own DLCs like 8-bit sound packs, G-Style Modern City Resource Pack Volume 1. I guess that's, a thing. And Music Pack. That's cool. It's got some content packs and all that. But, without any real changeability, like this combat system seems really uninspired, I want to say, as a default combat system. Like, I think it probably would have just been better to go with, the more basic. Like, we don't need these graphics on there for a default combat system. Give us the ability to script for it, create our own combat system. That'd be useful. Or give us you gave us little 3D characters. give us a side view battle system using those little 3D characters. Something. I don't know. But it feels kind of like RPG Maker 3 on the PS2, which I think was the 4th or 5th RPG Maker for PlayStation consoles or something like that. Suffice it to say, it was in 3D much like this was, and it was absolutely horrible. It's absolutely horrible to work with, and it's what I feel when I mess with this. I mean, I'm sure like this screenshot here shows a rather elaborate setup and the like, and that's great that you could do that, but like I feel that the major things that make MV so viable, you know, the parallax mapping that you can do if you want to. You can't do anything like that in this game. Like you'll have to create and import your own little resources to be stickered onto their little 3D cuboids. It's like I'm waiting for somebody to make a resource pack for Smile Game Builder that is just nothing but Minecraft textures, so that you can Minecraft RPG. Like I am waiting for that. Like that's how it feels to me. Like that's gonna be a thing. But at $80, I really don't feel that it's worth it, considering for that same $80 you can get MV when it's not on sale. Like if you're gonna get this, like I'd wait for their first like really major 50% off sale or more. Like I'd wait for a sale before picking up something like this, like, because it is an interesting software, but I don't feel that it's terribly usable to create your own RPG. But again, looking at the target audience, it's really kind of targeted at people who don't know how to program, don't know how to script, who have zero experience at any of that, which MV and the RPG Maker franchise in general is also targeted at roughly the same audience. But from RPG Maker XP to RPG Maker MV, XP, VX, VX Ace, and now MV, we've had access to really powerful scripting options with the RGSS scripting in XP and VX Ace that gave us pretty much full control over the engine itself. Now that was pretty amazing. That allowed for a lot of customization and amazing amounts of creativity in the community. And MV using HTML5 and JavaScript is doing exactly the same thing. But now a much wider audience of people can come in and join on it, because there are people that knew JavaScript back in the XP and VX days, and that JavaScript knowledge didn't intrinsically come over to the RGSS, but it made it easier to learn Ruby. And we are having a little bit of a problem moving forward in the MV community, I think, because there are some people that are very, very, very ingrained. They've used VX or they used XP for so long, it's the engine that they're most comfortable in. And MV is the new big bad program on the block. And these people that have used XP and whatnot, that they didn't have a web programming background, that they spent the time to learn Ruby, now they have to learn JavaScript and HTML5 to get into the scripting. I mean, it's not terrible, and it's not a terrible direction to have to go. And we've got members in the community like Yanfly and Hime Works. Like we've got some powerful community members that have put so much towards our community and given us so much. Like Yanfly.my. If you ever need anything for the RPG Maker world, like this is the place to go. Like especially if you're just starting out and you really want to go through and take a look at his plugins and visit his YouTube page and just look at all the content that he's created that doesn't affect your story, that just gives you a new way to tell your story. Like this man or woman or whoever Yanfly is on the other side of that bunny graphic, whoever's on the other side of the computer there has done amazing amounts of work for all of us. Like, just look at this entire list. Like, it keeps going and going and going. So, just amazing. Really, just really amazing. And on top of that, we've got like here's the YouTube page. We've got tips and tricks videos galore on different cool things that people have asked how to do. That he's made videos on how to do those exact things. So it's like MV really has a lot of content for it, which makes it so much more worth it, and like at any price really over Smile Game Builder. I've got my collection of RPG Maker software, so if you want to see me go through and show what any one of the previous engines are capable of, like RPG Maker 2000 and 2003, which are essentially the same programs. The only difference is RPG Maker 2003 has a little bit more music in it, and is the first RPG Maker to feature a side view battle system. The side view battle system in RPG Maker 2003 is very similar to the side view battle system that we now have in MV. But there was a little bit more you could do with it right out of the rip. So we'll see in the oncoming times. Like people just keep adding content for MV and scripts. Like right now, you can do so much more with the MV combat system than in any other version of RPG Maker out there. Like there's insane things that I've seen done, and I've seen like Tales of series style combat systems for RPG Maker XP. Like we're getting to this action combat level of stuff that you can get done in what's essentially, Babby's first game engine. Like it's it's the first game engine somebody could just pick up, make an RPG and have zero knowledge of anything in. Smile Game Builder is kind of trying to touch in onto that user base. I myself, I don't see myself picking it up. I feel it's a little bit too limited for what I would want to use it for in making an RPG. But it's definitely really nice and has a lot of potential. But as I said, for the same $79.99, you can get RPG Maker MV. Now for a good $60 more, you can get RPG Maker MV and a considerable amount of what's available first party RPG Maker resources wise. The season pass, which is 4 separate DLCs, which I think they finally got all 4 DLCs released yet? Season Pass. Let's see here. What are the DLC packs we've got? Number 3 and 4 hasn't come out yet. Like, I haven't picked up the Season Pass yet. Like, I'm waiting to see the Season Pass go on sale, because so far, looking at the Season Pass, the only things I want out of it are the music and the train tile set. Those are the only two things I really want. The remade RPG Maker 2K3 sprites, or RPG Maker 2K sprites, those are cool. Those are, like, definitely admittedly cool, but they're not necessary for me. I don't really feel a need for those. But the new this right here, now this I want. That's something I actually want. Unfortunately, 20% of the 48 user reviews for this are positive. Like, not a lot of what's been said is positive about it. But that's a problem with releasing DLC for an RPG Maker. Is, like, you can release a small bit of content, and then people find it useless because there's only this small amount of content. Or you can release this huge amount of content, but if it doesn't have this one thing, somebody's going to say something negative about it. So it's really kind of hard to work with. I mean, for $30, being able to have a whole new scene type in any game that you create, a whole bunch of music in the engine that's both familiar and really well done, honestly. The base, if you just have RPG Maker MV and you go into your DLCs folder for it, like, there's some RPG Maker 2000 music in there that's been redone for the modern era. Like, there's a good 10 or 15 tracks in there, which are all, they sound really good with the new instruments behind it and all. Like, the new arrangement sounds really good. So I'm hoping that the music that they released for this also sounds just as good, or if not better. Because technically, with what this gives you, I mean, you've now got RPG Maker 2000 in the MV engine, so you can kind of go back and, if you're a long time user of RPG Maker like I am, you could go back and remake one of your first games with the same character art. So it's really kind of cool. I mean, mostly it's just a nostalgia trip, which I think is the major reason why it gets so many bad reviews. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about Smile Game Builder and Smile Game Builder RPG Edition, which makes me believe that they might actually have more that they're doing. Do they have more going on than Smile Game Builder RPG Edition? Because I'm unsure. I never really followed Smile Boom. I've got the demo in the Smile Game Builder. At least that's all they got available on Steam. But yeah, my recommendations: if it goes on a nice big sale, pick it up. Why not? It looks like it could be fun to tool around in. Do I expect anybody to publish a game using it? Honestly, not really. Not actually publish, anyway. Like, release a short free game, or even a medium-length free game. I could see somebody doing something like that, but without scripting, like, without actual scripting power behind it, without the ability to create your own custom handlers in the game, with the limitation the combat systems looks like it has. Like, I really don't see myself using it, and I don't see a lot of people overall that are very used to the RPG Maker MV experience, or even the RPG Maker 2000 experience, or any of the RPG Maker games out there. Like, I feel RPG Maker in itself has a whole lot more to offer than Smile Game Builder. But I'm kind of biased. I cannot say that I'm unbiased. I've been using RPG Maker since RPG Maker 2000. Admittedly, when I was using RPG Maker 2000, 2003, and originally when I first started using RPG Maker XP, they weren't available stateside, so I had a kind of janky translated version of the game, or of the engine, and it was just a big, endless piracy scene everywhere for the RPG Maker community. Like, the RPG Maker community itself was a giant pirate community, because we couldn't get the program in our native language. We could not get the program in English, so we had to either somehow import ourselves a Japanese copy of the program, and then we still had to go out and pirate the program to use it in English, which sucked, because back then I would have shoveled out money without question for it. Today, we can get it in English, and we can even get so much as RPG Maker 2000, 2003 in English, which is great. When I found that out, I shoved my head directly into it and just screamed for joy and bought all of them. I've probably got several thousand hours of experience using RPG Maker. 2000 and 2003, and probably a couple hundred hours experience using RPG Maker XP. Believe it or not, VX and VX Ace I have very little actual experience with. I actually just purchased VX Ace to complete the set. I don't think I'll probably actually make much use of VX Ace. The biggest thing I wanted it for was just to support the company that brought me so much joy when RPG Maker 2000, 2003 first came out. I wanted to support that company and see it grow further and continue to produce and update and do things with the RPG Maker brand. And it looks like with RPG Maker MV, they really are going pretty far. So hopefully it keeps going, and hopefully we all get tons and tons and tons of content that we can work with, and just have fun with it, guys. Happy RPG making, and have a good night. Oh, geez, I didn't want to save. No save. There we go. If you like the kind of content I put on my channel, I understand I don't put enough content on there yet to really garner a following or anything like that, which is why you won't see advertising. You won't see advertising on my channel probably until I have at least a couple hundred subscribers. Then I'll probably look into some advertising. I'll look into some kind of sponsor, and I'll look into actually setting aside a good 20 or 30 hours of my week to really sit down and do the video editing and all that, rather than just hitting the stop record button, giving it a quick look through to make sure the audio levels were fine, and then just push it to YouTube and throw a description on it. Because that's kind of my workflow right now, because I don't have a lot of extra time. Like, it's 1 in the morning. I've been recording for probably about 45 minutes to an hour now. No, more than an hour. I am at an hour and 4 minutes. I really think I should probably learn to keep these things a little bit more concise. Feel free to skip through it all. If you like my content, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike my content, give it a thumbs down. And subscribe if you can or want to.